What's up, everybody? It's Silent, and right now I am on West Farms Road and East Tremont Avenue, which is pretty iconic. Anybody in the Bronx knows this stop under the 2 and 5 train. As you can see, this shot right here is, in my opinion, legendary. You take a picture of this and show it to anybody from the Bronx and they're gonna know exactly where we're at. And what I'm gonna do today is take you on a long walking tour with the 2 and 5 train as our guidance. So I want you to strap on your sneakers, tie them up real tight, because we got a long trek. But it's gonna be fun and we're gonna see a lot of stuff. It's a beautiful summer day, which I'm excited about. And you can take the 36 bus as well. And the BX9. A lot of ways for you to get over here. You can see the guys playing chess, which is a normal occurrence during the summertime. And right now we're walking to a very special place that's essentially a hidden gem in the Bronx. A lot of people don't know about this spot, even people who live in the Bronx. So I'll tell you what it is once we arrive, or I'll just let you see it. It's 3:20 in the afternoon, so the block is hot, as they would say. In the Bronx. Which just means everybody's out. So this is Boston Road, And this is the entrance or exit that I mentioned of the Bronx Zoo. But where I'm taking you is River Park. You got a park for kids to play. Let me show you this while we're here. Which is the River Park Playground. Got little bridges for the children, little things they can jump on. And there's a little water area with waters coming out of the seal, which is pretty cool. This is the little frog spitting water. I wonder if you guys can see the rainbow. There's a rainbow on it. And it looks like a little river going under the bridge. That's kind of awesome. And we are slowly approaching this hidden gem. Wow. Yup, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is the West Farm Rapids. And you can, if you can see right above it, which is the monorail that goes through the zoo. It's part of a ride, so to say, where you can see certain animals. And if you saw my Bronx Zoo video, we took that ride. Oh, look at the duck. So yeah, this is basically a natural rapid waterfall in River Park. And it's really the only freshwater river in New York City. And it measures exactly 23 miles, which goes from the heights of Westchester County to meet the East River at Hunts Point. So all of that back there, this way, yeah. And this is just a great place to just relax, meditate, see the views. And over here you can read about some of the history, fish pastures on the Bronx River at River Park. Since the 1600s, dams like this one built for industry or agriculture have blocked the migration of river herring and blueback herring to their upstream spawning habitat. These fish live most of their lives in the Atlantic Ocean and return every spring. River herring are a critical source of food to many predators in the river and in the ocean. This fish passage contributes to the ongoing efforts to improve the Bronx River and restore our coastal ecosystem. So now that we're done with the river park, we're gonna continue on with the 2-train mini tour. And we're gonna hop on the 2 train now and head on over to Pelham Parkway. Which is another area I grew up in. And we're gonna see a little bit of that. So we're gonna go to the 242nd and Dyer Avenue side. We made it just in time. Well, hopefully. The old trains used to be red. And then even before that, they used to be all graffitied up.
This is Pelham Parkway. The next stop is Alberton Avenue.
And just like that kid would hop on the train, I used to do it sometimes too. I'm not condoning it, don't recommend it, but it is what it is. And I actually got quote unquote arrested for that one time. And they put me in handcuffs behind my back, walked me down these steps, as you can see, and walked me all the way down to their car. And they took me to the precinct on 180th, which is the 2 stops before this. Wow, things have changed so much. This Starbucks used to be a FYE, and I used to buy all my albums in here. Wow. And this Pale-matic used to be a Burger King. Oh no, this was the Burger King next to the beauty supply. But yeah, you would think cops would have much better to do than put a kid in handcuffs and take him to the precinct. Like, you gotta be kidding me. When there's real criminals in these streets, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna get on that tangent. Popeyes. Now, if you live in the Pelham Parkway area, you got everything right here. Literally. If the Rite Aid is still here, this is the Rite Aid I worked at for like, I don't even know if I did a whole month. I was over it. because it was way too early. It was like before, because I had to do summer school, so they gave me hours before school. Oh, it's a Walgreens now. But yeah, they gave me hours before school started, so it was like some crazy 5 to 7 a.m. or something, or 5 to 8 a.m. And then some days I would get after school hours. I was not feeling it. And there was 3 grocery stores that I would get all my Word Up, Right On, Black Beat magazines and collect all my pictures of my favorite celebrities like Brandy, Cisco, Mariah Carey. It was crazy. And I already see one deli. Oh, it's still there, which was this one right here in the corner. Oh man. And this was the other deli that I would get my magazines from, but looks like it's closed down. Wow. Oh, that's closed down too. And actually, it wasn't in the corner. It was this Total Wireless that was a little deli store. So let's go down Lydig. This is the other grocery store I used to get my magazines in. Looks really different. Let's see. Wow, so there used to be a rack right here with all the magazines. Crazy. But, excuse me, ain't there no more. Now, I used to live right here on Holland, which we're gonna go up right now. And I used to always get my Chinese. This is when my obsession with Chinese started, I think. Because I used to get it all the time from here. And back then, they used to accept food stamps. Like the paper food stamps. And I would roll up in here like, let me get my chicken wings and fried rice. That is crazy, bro. And this, to me, is probably still the best pizza in the Bronx, John and Joe's. And they've been here for over 40 years. And sadly, earlier this last year, Joe passed away. In love and memory of Joe, as you can see. Wow. I wish I was hungry. I would get a slice. Let me just get a shot of it. Sorry. And it had a lot of facts and stuff on the wall, like history of baseball players. Oh man, what a iconic place. This is Key Food. I don't remember if it was always a Key Food or if it was a different supermarket, but it was always a supermarket here. I have not walked down this street in, I don't even know. So as you could imagine, I'm getting all the feels right now. So in retrospect, in hindsight, this is truly where True Exclusive began. Because my obsession with the industry, oh my God, I thought that was a pig for 2 seconds. I was gonna say, what the? Yo! But it's a dog. Hi. Anyway, that's where my obsession with the music industry began, and just collecting posters and stuff, and dreaming in front of the TV. I would watch every late night show, every talk show, every award show, face this close to the TV. Crazy, crazy. This is my building. Oh, no. Yeah, this is it. 2180 Holland Avenue. And we had a friend who lived right here, a family. And anytime I would come down to go to the store, I would knock on her window and talk to her right here, or ask if she wanted anything. Michelle. Shout out to Michelle, Max, and Little Max. Oh man, I'm gonna get emotional. I did not expect this. Pelham 2180. Wow. And my aunt lived across the street with my cousin Mandy. Well, all my cousins, Leslie, Angie, Ashley. I would go to their window too and talk to them. I lived on the second floor, which was 2C. Let me show you the fire escape, which was this one right here. That window right there. It was actually my mother's room, but I would always be at that window, looking out, sometimes sitting there, summertime, just watching. Let me see if I can go inside. Yo, this is crazy. 2180. We're just gonna wait and see if... Oh my God. It was a pretty nice lobby too. You see the tiling and try to hook it up, a little fireplace. This is where I used to come and run to get my mail, because if you knew back in that 90s, they had the Columbia House, where you would order the 12 CDs for free. They would come in and deliver it, so I would just be waiting. It looked so much smaller than it was. So this was it. Up the stairs. 2C. Crazy. Maybe one day when I'm famous, I'll come back and knock on the door. We had a family friend who lived over here on the top floor. We would come and scream out her name, Sandra, from the window. Shout out to Sandra and April. So as you see the top, is like I don't know, but it's different from the rest. It's almost like when you get an ice cream and this is the ice cream, and then they put the topping dripping down, caramel, chocolate, or whatever. See, even the bottom part is a different. You got these rock type things. Then you have brick, and then you have that tan layering thing. Let's go back on Kruger because I specifically went down there because I wanted to take you to a legendary street, or rather named after a legendary Bronx bred person. I don't want to say till we get there, but if you know, you know. And boom, here we are. The iconic and legendary Regis Philbin Avenue on Kruger Ave and Bronxdale. Crazy. And he actually got this honor while he was alive. Yeah, he did it. It wasn't like most where they give it to you when you pass away. He got it when he was alive in 1992 to celebrate his first 30 years in the television industry. And this is a little bit of the street. And he grew up on Kruger Avenue between Sagamore and Bronxdale. So let's go down one more Ave just so you can see the vibes of Regis Philbin and where he grew up. So there's a lot of dope people who were born and raised in the Bronx. Don't get it twisted. Y'all be acting like the Bronx is some ghetto piece of trash, and it's really not. A lot of good people out of here, including yours truly. I like this little street because the train is so low and it passes by overhead. Hopefully we get to see one, but if not, that's okay. Pretty quiet area in the Bronx for the most part. I hear a train. But I don't see it. This is above. And here we are on Sagamore. Too bad I don't know exactly which house he grew up in, so I could show you. There we go. Kruger Ave, Sagamore Street, and Regis Philbin Avenue. All right, and just like that, we're gonna head on down to Allerton to another dope spot. Now I know a lot of people mentioned the old skate key over by 149th and all that area, but that is not the original skate key. The original skate key, well, original skate key for me prior to that was right here underneath the train station between Pelham Parkway and Allerton Avenue. And that was like in the late 90s, I would say. Yeah, it had to be 98 or so. I'm not really good with years, but maybe 97-ish, around there. And if I'm not mistaken, it was this building right here. Man, I used to love Skate Key. Skate Key was basically a skating rink indoors. Music blasting, roller skating, food, snacks. And then they would have like teen night and different kind of events. Yeah, this was it. It was this building or that building, one of these. So crazy. So crazy how things just change. We are now approaching our destination, which is Bronx Park East. And we are at Bronx Park. And I'm bringing you here because I'm taking you to the skate park. And this is an infamous skate park because it's a 6,000 square foot park. And it has a whole bunch of like smooth skating surfaces, modern equipment, like a quarter pipe, bank ramps with ledges, a skate pyramid, and grind rails. So it's a lot of stuff for skaters to practice and just do their thing on. And this park was opened in 2008. And it was part of a $1.4 million renovation at Bronx Park, which included a new soccer field. And the skate park itself opened in 2008, in June, I believe. And actually in 2018, co-founder of the public housing skate team Vlad Gomez cited Allenton Skate Park as one of the 2 major skate parks in the Bronx. So that's iconic. And as of August 2020 of last year, it's one of the 6 skate parks in the Bronx run by New York City Parks. So this is pretty epic. Alright, well, you get the idea. Skate park, pretty dope. It's good when the city, renovates things and keeps things in the community for the children and even older teens, because it keeps them out of trouble. It gives them stuff to do that occupies their mind from boredom, which might lead into drugs and crime and etc. So this is the soccer field. So they're right next to each other, as you can see. Skate and soccer. So now we're gonna head on down to Gunhill Road. You know what? I decided to walk to Gunhill Road. Why not continue to give you guys a better walking tour? It's only about a 15-minute walk. You already know, chilling in front of your building. It's probably the number one thing we do in the summertime. Parkside houses. And this is actually Gunhill houses. I wish I knew the history of what was here before, because obviously these rocks mean maybe it was a park or just grass area. So dope. So of course, being that this is Gunhill houses, we are approaching the Gunhill Road stop on the 2 train. And a fire truck is heading back to its home, as you can see. So now the reason why we're going down Gunhill Road towards the Bronx River Parkway is obviously because, one, I want you to see the surroundings and just get the view of Gunhill Road. But we're also going to meet up with Brandon, who runs Norwood Community Library. And I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I'll let him explain that. But yeah. I don't know if it's translating through the camera, but in the distance, with the heat blaring and the sun, whew, you could almost see the flames. Not actual flames. I don't know how to explain it, but I know if you're from the Bronx or Brooklyn or any of those boroughs, you know what that is, to look in the distance and see like the heat coming up. Man, we got a lot of dogs. Water. I'm dying of thirst. Okay. Here we go. What's this? Thank you.
Right now, tickets start at just $32.
Thank you. And we are approaching Brandon and the Norwood Library, Community Library. What up, man? How you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Montez and I'm the founder of the Norwood Community Library. The Norwood Community Library is an independent mutual aid approach to getting books to the people on a street level. We provide free books for anyone who's interested here in the Bronx. I get all my books donated to me by other readers in the Bronx, who I schedule meetups with, and I take what they give me. And a lot of the time, there's great stuff. Anyone who reads books has a few books that they don't want anymore, and those books can find a new home with projects like these.
All right, guys, so that was basically the Norwood Community Library. You got to know a little bit about Brandon and what he's doing for the community and his love for reading and books, which I think is really dope because I love to read. And it's so crazy that I saw an Archie comic. I was gonna take it, but I left it on the table and someone came and took it, so I just let them have it. It's cool. So right now we're on our way to 233rd. Bro, can I film you? That's the Bronx for you. But as I was saying, we're just gonna walk right here underneath the 2 train on 219th. Then after that, we'll go to 233rd and wrap it up over there by Laconia and Edenwald projects. Snow cone. Sun is slowly setting. Now, as we get closer towards 233rd, Wakefield, you know, we'll be in the northernmost neighborhood in New York City. Snow cone truck. I never seen that. One minute. I'm doing a video on the Bronx.
Okay.
Just showing YouTube. I wanted to know if you could say something about the truck because I never seen something like this.
Alright, it's original. Okay, so this is KMC, Creative Minds Collide, 1230 East Gunhill Road. This is called Betsy. So it is the snow cone truck. We sell snow cone, popcorn, cotton candy, all over the Bronx. You can rent us or just see us on the street and stop us. That's what we're about. Best snow cones ever.
And what is summer in the Bronx to you?
Other than money?
I know that's right.
Fun. But you just gotta know how to carry yourself. Don't get out of yourself and you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this particular thing for 10 years. I've never had an issue. You know what I'm saying? While other people have done many other things, and you know, you just carry yourself and you'll be fine.
Appreciate it, man.
Take
Thank
care,
you so much.
Alright, there you go.
That is so dope. That's like a real island. Like the guy was yelling in the background. You brought it back to the island. Man, that's summer in the Bronx. Even though I've never seen that particular little golf cart type thing, but that is exactly what summer in the Bronx represents. I'm not sure why that says 5:30 because it's 7:30, but maybe that means something else.
In prison, poison. Doesn't that send a message that you do not want a fair political fight?
Значит, по поводу того, кого бьют или the question of who is murdering who, people writing and pointed to Congress.
Well, that was just a little bit of Moody's. He didn't want to be on camera today, so that's okay. Sometimes people just don't want to be on camera, and you have to understand. Don't use machines. This one's fire. Now, as we're approaching 233rd and Wakefield, we are approaching the northernmost neighborhood in New York City. And it was formerly home to large Irish American and Italian American populations. And during the 1980s, those communities were replaced with largely Caribbean and Guyanese populations. So right here is the 233rd stop on the 2 and 5 train. And growing up, my grandmother used to live in the Edenwald projects, Edenwald houses. So when I would come to stay there, because there was a time I was living there as well with her, I would get off the train from the city and come and either walk, or there would be like a dollar van here that would pick up multiple people, and you'd pay them the dollar, get in the van, and they would drop you off. Not sure if they still do that around here, but and I would assume even if they did do it nowadays, during the whole pandemic thing, they probably stopped. I hear the bootleg Mr. Softy, not Mr. Softy himself. I told you. And that's a plain clothes Mr. Softy. And we are at the Edenwald houses. I got the light green. Oh, this is the Good Humor truck. Kinda so this is the 47th precinct, and actually right here on this exact street, I was taking the bus from this way. I was on the bus, and right here we started noticing a lot of people in the streets. It just, you know how when you could tell there's some sort of commotion going on, and it had turned out there was a blackout. That was the big blackout of I don't remember the year, but it was a huge blackout that people had to walk from Manhattan to the Bronx to Brooklyn, wherever they were going home. It was insane, and it happened while I was on the bus, and yeah, I had to walk. When I got to my grandmother's block, which we're gonna go in a minute, up this little ramp we cut through and cross. But yeah, I had to walk up to the 7th floor. I couldn't take the elevator because there was no electricity. But yeah, so coming from her house, you would have to walk down this little cut through the buildings and go to the supermarket here or the store. And right here was where, and it's just like I assumed, it's not there anymore. There was a record store here. And I remember not knowing about real albums, because prior to that, she used to live on 149th and 3rd Avenue, which you saw in my 3rd Avenue vlog. And I had bought 2 cassette tapes, 2 for $5 in the street. And I remember thinking that's how much it cost. So I came here with $5 to the little record store. I think it was right there. And he's like, and I didn't even know what I wanted. I just knew I wanted R&B music. So I told him, what's new? Can you play me what's new? And he played me a couple of albums that were there. And one of them was Mary J. Blige, What's the 411? You know what? Let me tell the story while I'm walking. So I said I want that one because the first song she was singing a cappella, it was Reminisce. Actually, the intro was an intro, and then the first song was a cappella where she's singing. And back then, that's when I had first found out about like soulful voices and singers singing. So that acapella grabbed me. I said, I want that. I put the $5 on the counter and he was like, no, it's 10. So I was so mad. I went back. I'm like, this guy's ripping me off. But I went back. I asked my grandmother for another $5. She gave it to me. And I came back and he gave it to me. But when I was walking home, I was opening it. And that's when I saw the pictures and the lyrics and just the credits. You know, all the stuff that doesn't come in a bootleg. And my life changed. I was addicted to buying albums after that. So that was my first album purchase. Real official album purchase of Mary J. Blige. It looks so different. Not different, but like maybe a little more quieter. At least in my opinion. And these Edenwood houses were established on October 30th, 1953. And they consist of 40 buildings, 3 and 14 stories tall, with 2,039 apartment units. And the whole section, as you can see from all around, covers a 48.88 acre development. And it's actually the largest development in the Bronx. And some notable people who grew up here were Christopher Williams, R&B singer from I think the 80s. And Dream Doll, who's a newer female rapper. So if you're driving, you would come in through this way, because this is the entrance. And this is Susan E. Wagner Preschool. They don't look that tall, but when you're growing up and you're in one of these tall housing buildings, and like I said, it's only 14 stories, it's like a whole new world to you. You feel like, see, so I would cut through here to get to my grandmother's, but as a car you would have to go all the way around. This park was here because it's part of the school. My grandmother lived in this building. So crazy. She lived on the 7th floor. I believe it was 7A. Memories. So I had to walk up them steps. I was done with my life, to be completely honest. 7th floor. Wild. And right across the street, right here, in front of this, I'll show you when I get over there. Still throwing the garbage where it's supposed to, right here. This was always the spot you threw everything. Yo, it's so crazy how, I don't know, man. Memories are crazy. It's just crazy how you can remember so much. And this was a really bad neighborhood back then. I don't know what it's like nowadays. And you would think the police station is right there. It would be controlled, but you know how that is. So right here in front of this blue strip, there would be like an ice cream truck, but it wasn't an ice cream truck. It was like the Good Humor one that was like empty. And they would sell like hot food, because I would get French fries all the time after school. One of those little paper plates, but like a bowl kind of. You know which ones I'm talking about. And yeah. The irony of the project behind this gate kind of resembling a jail, but really it's all a mental thing. For those of us who grew up in the hood, it's really a mental thing. Just because you're from an area that's quote unquote low income or whatever, it doesn't mean you can't be nothing, or it doesn't mean you can't think outside the box. Or it doesn't mean you can't achieve the impossible. You have to remember that impossible really is I'm possible. I'm really, really tired though. My legs are like, listen, you guys are gonna see a condensed version of this tour. You know, just because I know some people like to see it full on, no edits. And it's not really edits, but there's just some dead areas where I'm just walking and it's just trees, or it's just nothing to see. So it's like, why keep all that space in there? So I just edit those parts out. So you guys don't really know. You won't get the gist of the length. But it is now 8:10 p.m. and I started this tour around 1:30 p.m. So that's already 6.5 hours, about 6 hours and 40 minutes. So my legs, my feet are like, bro. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep going? I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, and I'm feeling like you guys are telling me to continue on. As long as the sun is out, the light is out, I'm good. Because the thing is, at night, this camera doesn't have a light, so you're not going to be able to see nothing unless it's in a well-lit area. But I think I can make it, because we're about to hit I believe it's the Gunhill Road station of the 5 train. And which is what we called the Valley. I don't know if it's still called the Valley, but back in the day it was called the Valley. So you would walk over the little bridge into Co-op City, which is where my school was, my high school. This is nice. This certainly wasn't here. This is the Baychester Avenue station of the 5 train. So yeah, I would do both, but most times the morning I would do the 12 bus. Because if you remember earlier when we were on Pelham Parkway, the 12 bus, when I showed you the 2 and 5 train, was right above. So that's why I had the 2 options. So most mornings I would take the 12 bus and walk it. And then what I would do is, after school, I would still mostly do the 12, but when I would go to the city, I would come out and take the train here. And when we would come out and walk over the little bridge, this would be the store we go to. Buy your potato chips, 25-cent juice. I used to get the little skinny ices for 10 cents. The blue kind was my fave. Nice little houses. There we go. And back in when I was in high school, gosh, I'm so bad with years. It was the 90s, right? Yeah, it was the 90s, 97, 98. 99, around there. Back when I was in high school, there was this huge beef between the Valley and so it was like you had to watch out, and it was crazy times back then. Even down to you can't wear this color, that color, cause etc. It was ridiculous. So yeah, this would be considered the Valley. I gotta cross here. I don't think that was an official name of the area. I think it's just what they would call it. But back then, that's what we knew it as. This is the bridge. So to me, it was the Valley. That's it. All right, so this is the short bridge. And from right here, through the trees, you can see my high school, Harry S. Truman. Let's go get a closer look. I see this is still the student entrance. We were coming through here. And if you were really late, like I believe it was third period and higher, you would have to go into the front. This is crazy. I remember thinking this school was so huge. I mean, it is huge. As you can see, it is a really tall building, and it was 7 floors, or is 7 floors. Oh yeah, and there is a planetarium in here. I remember it going to it once, but I don't really remember it. If you were a Harry S. Truman High School student, drop them comments. Drop HT in the comments. I want to see how many people were in Truman. And this was the front entrance. A lot of times I would exit through here. And this MS-180, which actually connects to Truman through a tunnel where the gym and the pool area was my junior high school. Which we're gonna go down there and see right now. Before we get to that, a lot of times when I would cut and leave early, you couldn't always leave through the front because they would act sometimes. So I would look, and if there was someone there and I knew I couldn't leave through there, I'd be whatever. I found a way where you can go to the basement, which is where all the gyms and stuff were, and there was no security or anything at this door right here. And I would be like, deuces, bitches, on my way to the city. Right there. So, and there would be the occasional time too where if I was really late and didn't want them to know and have to go sign in and all this bullshit, I would sneak in through here. I don't really know how I would open it. Sometimes you could knock and there would be someone there hanging out, like students or whatever, and they would open it, and I would go in through there. But yeah, I would leave through there. Again, I'm not condoning. I'm just giving you my story. And that would be, I would leave early and go to the city, to Manhattan, to chase celebrities, which ultimately became my career, where now I do interviews and documenting, and so essentially I was following my dream before I even knew it was my dream. Well, no, I knew it was my dream. I just didn't know what avenue of the entertainment business I was going to be in. So, all right, MS-180. So that's Truman big, MS-180 small. IS-180. Did they change it? Or am I just saying it wrong because it's been that damn long? And this was the yard. Lunchtime type shit. It looks so small now. Wow. It's incredible. Y'all don't understand, like, everything started here. I remember I even would get in trouble because they would say I was influencing students to do what I did, meaning like cutting and going down to the city to see celebrities, because a lot of my friends would come with me. That was back when TRL first started, so we would go to TRL and all that. My first love was in this school. Like, come on, like, history. This is history. My history. You know what I mean? Like, shit. So yeah, in the mornings or leaving school, when I would take the 12 bus, we would come through here, cut through here. And go to the 12 bus. Ooh, he got it in too. But let's keep going. At least Bay Plaza is well lit, so I'm not worried about the footage being dark or grainy. And right now we're approaching Bay Plaza. So you have everything in here from food, the iconic BBQs. You got Red Lobster, as you see, Party City. I'm not sure if Kmart is still open. We used to have the Barnes & Noble, which was the only Bronx bookstore. Not too long ago. That wasn't even there when I was growing up, but they ended up closing it. And right now the only bookstore in the Bronx is the Lit Bar, which is in my Haven section of the Bronx. And of course, what we just saw earlier with Brandon and what he does with the Norwood Community Library. You have Chipotle. They actually, in the recent years, built a mall. I know this is a mall, but it's outdoors. They built an indoor mall down there that has H&M. What else is in there? Stuff, JCPenney, you know, all of that. You got Bob's Furniture out here. So you have the mall here and then another mall. So you will be here for hours if you're a shopper. Supermarket, ShopRite. Stop and Shop. This used to be something else when I was going to school. I swear to God, I feel like Portobello is always going out of business. I promise you, I feel like anytime I see this store, and I haven't been here in a long time, I promise you I've seen that going out of business store. Everything must go up to 80% off. Maybe that's their trick to get you to shop. Yeah, where's the Burger King? Well, lights going out. Everything's closing. Jimmy Jazz, a Bronx staple. Oh, the Burger King is closed down. It ain't even... Wow. So we used to cut through. Yeah, you can't even see inside. And you would go straight across and get out that way to get to the movie theater. And here we are, AMC. Legendary. I came here to see a lot of movies, and I mean a lot. It was either this one, Whitestone I didn't go to as much, but I did, and 161st in the Bronx. But yeah, this is it. Not much to show because we're not going in or anything, but you get the idea. kind of looks pretty much the same for the most part. I remember the movie posters being lined up, so when you would leave, you would see what movies were coming out next. Right here, right there, and on the other side. And this was the entrance where you bought a ticket, and you see the movie timetables up there. Yeah. Alright guys, well, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this Bronx walking tour, and just the whole series in general. Drop them comments, likes, and shares, and share it with all the people you know who want to see the Bronx, and then you want to show them that it's not all bad. So yeah, until the next one, peace and love.